Hello everyone. So today I'm going to show you my everyday makeup look. I really like this look just because it's super versatile and you can kind of change up different things to make it look different all the time. And it really works well with my dry skin, which is super nice because it's taken me a while to find products and techniques that really don't show off the dryness, instead kind of make it look dewy and glowy and very nice. So I've already put on lip balm and moisturizer, and for lip balm I almost always use Blistex, and then at night I'll use the Laneige Sleeping Mask, which is super nice. And for moisturizer I just used the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream, which I really like. It doesn't have SPF, which would make it even better, but yeah. And then to add SPF, you can always put like a moisturizing SPF underneath, and I like the Coola Sport Classic Sunscreen Moisturizer. So, and this is SPF 50, so this is really nice to put on under your makeup or just before you go out every day. It's not too greasy, it's very nice, I like it. Alright, so now to start, we're going to start with primer. And I use two primers, so I use a mattifying primer, and for that one I use the Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser, and I put that kind of in the areas I have pores and lines, so right under my eyes like that, and then I pat it on my nose. I don't rub it on my nose, and I tend to pat it in most places just because then it really sinks into the skin. And so for this one, it's more of a preference of if you want to hide things or not, but because we're using another really dewy primer, I like to kind of set a good base and hide different things. So for the next primer, we're using the Physicians Formula Spotlight Illuminating Primer. So this is really glowy, so if you do have more normal to oily skin, you probably won't want to use this, but I really like it. It just gives a nice base and really makes all your foundation look super glowy and nice. So I love that about this. It's super nice. Alright, so now this is kind of where things get a little crazy. So I'm going to start with my concealer. And I use the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer in Fair. And I use this one because this is one of the only concealers I found that actually is pale enough for my skin. Another one that I really like is the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear, which also has a lot of shades and is pale enough for my skin. So that's kind of, I know there are a ton of other great concealers out there, but I often can't find a shade that's light enough for me. So those are the two I really love. So just gonna twist this up a little bit and then just put this on my acne spots and my redness, because this is a lighter coverage look. If there are blemishes and things that you want to cover up, you can. You don't have to, you know, it's personal preference. And so I kind of like to cover it up a bit, but you definitely don't have to if, you know, it's a part of who you are. So, you know, just do you. And I tap it in with my fingers. I do have a beauty blender, but I tend to use that for more full coverage looks. For other kind of looks, I like to use brushes and my fingers. It's just a bit easier and you don't have to wet the sponge or anything. Okay, so I have that. And then I also like to take a brightening concealer, and for this I also use a Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, and this is this shade Just Brightener, so it's kind of pink toned, and because I have pink in my skin, this looks really nice. So I just like to put just a tiny bit under my eyes. Just kind of brighten it up a little bit. And I'll pat that in. Okay. And also I have a mirror right above the camera, so that's why I might be looking up a little bit. Alright, so next we are going to take a cream contour. So I use this Tarte Pro Glow. It's just the only cream contour I have. I'm hit pan on it though, so I have to find another one. Hopefully a cheaper one that looks really good. But I do really like this cream contour. I just find it's easy to blend out and it looks really good. So you can put this on our face. You can put in the areas you want warmth, but you also want definition. And so, yeah. And again, I use a brush for this. You can use a sponge. I like the control I get with a brush a little better. But just kind of, you know, this is a really versatile look. You can kind of do whatever. So, and I also like to put some on my forehead. Just because I am so pale, I like to add some warmth to my skin. And don't worry if you're looking a little crazy right now. You will look better, trust me. And if you do go kind of like, I sort of messed up the bronzer a little bit on this side, you can take a sponge, kind of pat it like that. So it's always easy to fix up. So we have that. Now we are gonna go in with the cream blush, and I have quite a few favorites for cream blushes, and I will get them out. So for high-end favorites, I really like the Milk Makeup Lip and Cheek Stick, and the one I have is Perk, and it's a really nice kind of pink color, so that's a really good one. And then I also have the Stila Aqua Glow Watercolor Blush in Water Lily, and I really love this one. And it's kind of like a net in there that you can put your sponge in or your brush, and it's a lot brighter, but you can definitely blend it in, and it's just glowy, which I also really like. But for kind of everyday wear, I tend to use the e.l.f. Cosmetics blush in Soft Peach. So I really like this one. It's just kind of little pot, and it is just really soft and glowy, and so I really like that one. So that is what we're using today. And again, I apply this with a brush. You can use a sponge if you'd like. It's all personal preference. So on the apples of my choosing, kind of work it into the bronzer a bit. And then I like kind of a more sun-kissed look, so I put some on my nose. You definitely do not have to. But that's just a look I kind of prefer. So again, it's all up to you. This is very versatile. Kind of change it up so it works better for your skin and for your lifestyle and for what your preference is. All right, so next we're gonna go in with highlight. So I like to use this cream highlighter, which is the Trestique Highlight and Perfect Multi-Purpose Stick in Maldives Luminescent. I also really enjoy the L'Oreal True Lumi Glow Lotion, which is also really good. But either one works, or if you have another liquid highlighter that you really like, use that. And so I just take this and I warm it up a little on my hand, and then I just put it where I would normally put highlighter. And then I will rub it out with my fingers. Okay, so when you have that kind of tapped in a little bit, now it's time for foundation. And so I do like putting my foundation on after I do all my other cream products. It just gives a very natural, very dewy look. No makeup type of thing. I got the idea from Samantha Ravndal, and I can link her video in the description box. And I've been kind of playing around with it, trying different things. And you do kind of have to do a light coverage foundation for it to work. But I really love it, and I love how it looks. So for my foundation, I'm using the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation, and this does have an SPF 20. So it's super good for the summer, super good for every day. I really like that. More full coverage foundations don't usually have SPF in them because you're typically not wearing that day to day. It's more of a nighttime thing. So I really like that. A few other foundations I like that have SPF 20 are the L'Oreal, or SPF in general, are the L'Oreal True Match Lumi, and the First Aid Beauty Triple Protection Skin Tint, which I really like this one, and my mom loves this one. It's just really good. Just a really good foundation. And then also the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth Foundation with SPF 18. So this is also a very good one. But those are kind of ones that are more meant for everyday wear because they do have SPF. So kind of build in your skin protection in nice ways. Okay, so for this, I'm just gonna put it all over my face. And then I take a brush. So this is technically a bronzer brush, but I really like it for this look and for this foundation. Just take it and I rub out, blend in that foundation. So now you just have a super dewy, glowy, really natural base, and you can still kind of see my skin through it a bit, which I think kind of helps with the no makeup look. So now, setting powder. So I usually don't set my makeup, but because this is a super glowy, super dewy look, I do set it, but I don't use like a mattifying powder. I just use a normal translucent powder, and I haven't really explored many powders just because I haven't. They're not super exciting to buy, so I don't really like to spend my money on high-end powder. But so I just use the e.l.f. Cosmetics HD powder, and I'll take a big fluffy powder brush like this, and I just kind of make sure it's fully coated in the powder, and then I just use that all over my face just to set it. So you still keep the dewiness, but it's not sticky or tacky. It's kind of set down with the powder. So I like that. It'll kind of give it more staying power. And even though I do have dry skin, you sweat, you still have some natural oil, so this will kind of keep it at bay a little bit. And then if you do have more oily skin, you could use like a mattifying powder. So we have that. So now we're gonna go to eyes. So first you wanna prime your lids, and I just use concealer, just because, you know, I feel like concealer works great, especially like a nice high coverage concealer, and it just kind of feels like a waste sometimes to buy a separate eye primer. So I will just use a concealer. I do really like the Urban Decay primer potions though. Those are really good, but they're just expensive, so I just tend to use concealer. And then I like to set the concealer down, and for that, because I am pretty pale, I use a white eyeshadow, but kind of use something closer to your skin tone. I use, in the Too Faced Natural Matte Palette, I use the shade Heaven. So I just put that on this like a highlighting brush and just sweep that over the concealer. Just like that. Alright, now for eyes. So for eyeshadow, I do something really natural. So I like the Too Faced Chocolate Chip palette. It's very pale shades, perfect for my skin tone. And I like that it has shimmer shades. The Natural Matte palette I also super love, but it doesn't have any shimmer shades, and it can be a bit dark for my skin. So kind of find a neutral palette, an everyday neutral palette that really works for your skin tone. So I use this one, and then I'm taking the shade Sugared Raisin, and that's just going all over my lid and into my crease. So just like that. And you could use like a fluffy blending brush, like something like this if you wanted. I tend to use a kind of flat, more like paddle brush type thing, just to get it all over that lid. But then you could definitely blend it out with that blending brush, which I will probably do. So just kind of blend it out a bit so it's not as harsh lines. It's a bit more natural, and I really like this shade because it has some natural shimmer to it. So it's not just a matte shade, so it's very natural. And then if you do want to add more shimmer, I really like the shade Exotica. So just right here, you can't really see it, but it's just very natural. And so for that one, I just take kind of a fluffy brush, grab some products, and then I'll take a spray. And you can use any spray, you could even use water. Spray it, wet it down a bit, and then put that all over the lid. And just very natural glow. And it's such pretty colors. Alright, perfect. So for this look, I don't usually put something under the eyes. You could take that base shade and kind of buff it under the lash line if you wanted. So next would be eyeliner. And usually for every day, I will use the Maybelline, no, not this one. I'll use the Essence Extreme Lasting Eye Primer. No, eye pencil, sorry. And it's in Silky Nude. And I will just put this in my lower waterline. But this is place where you can have a lot of fun. So I also like using color eyeliners. So I have like the ColourPop Cream Gel eyeliner in Prance, which is really cool under there. I also really enjoy the Revlon Photo Ready Kajal in Matte Marine, and the Maybelline Lasting Drama Waterproof Eye Pencil in Silken Turquoise. So I tend to use blues just because I have blue eyes. Really kind of makes them pop, but you can kind of use any color, you know. You can use purple, red, pink, orange, yellow, whatever you really want, just to add something a little more fun, a pop color, but it's not super out there and crazy. It's a little more subtle, and people kind of have to really think about it to really know where the color is coming from. So I'm just gonna use my Essence eye pencil right in that waterline, and this just opens up the eyes. And it's just it makes you look really awake, and it's just a really good tip. And actually some companies actually sell eyeliners that are specifically for that purpose, and I think Essence actually might have one. So that is something else you can do. You can just get one specifically for that purpose, but all eyeliners are eye safe, so they'll all be okay to go in the waterline. And then, so now for mascara. So for mascara, this is a tricky one for me just because I have to have waterproof mascara because my eyes are super watery. So I really like the CoverGirl Peacock Flare Hydrofuge mascara, and this is in black brown, I think. It just says 835, so I don't really know what color it is. But I like this one, but it doesn't curl your lashes. It makes them really long. It doesn't give any volume. It's definitely more of a natural mascara, so I do like it more for every day, but I also like the curled look. And so for that, I would use the Luminous Lash Paradise Waterproof. And this one I have just in Black Noir. So I might get this in a brown or a black brown just so it's more natural, more everyday. But I do love this mascara. It's super good. It makes your lashes look amazing. So if you do want more of the curled volume look, definitely go for this one. It's so good. So I'm going to take my CoverGirl. Now bottom lash line. Alright, and I did mess up a bit under here, so for that, just take a spoolie and scrape it off. Perfect. I actually want a bit more on these lower lashes. So, there we go. Alright, now on to brows. So, I do tend to use a pencil every day, and I like the NYX micro brow pencil in Auburn, but I am out of this, so I will buy a new one next week. But so I'm not using this right now, but I am using the Wet n Wild brow mascara in Nothing But Brunette. I don't love this brow mascara just because it has a really big spoolie and it kind of makes my brow hairs feel crunchy. I definitely prefer the Benefit Give Me Brow. I love that one, but it is so expensive. So I'm kind of just trying to search out for a good drugstore brow mascara. I've heard the Essence one is super good, but doesn't come in many colors. So that's kind of making me hesitate a bit, especially because I do dye my hair red, so I like to add some red into my brows. And brunette has a little bit of that warmness to it, so I do kind of like that. But water brow products are very ashy and cooler toned, and so I need something a little warmer toned, and that can be hard to find in the drugstore. But I'm definitely still looking, still trying to find things. There'll definitely be an Ulta trip soon in my future. So I have that, and now I like to kind of highlight some things. So I'm gonna take that Exotica shade again on the same fluffy brush and put that underneath the brow bone. And also in the inner corners. There we go. Clean this up a little bit. Perfect. Alright, so now you're ready to spray your face. And I have kind of two setting sprays that I like. I really like the Flower Beauty one. That's a very, very good one. But I don't have that with me. But the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Natural Finish Setting Spray makes your makeup stay for so long, and it is so amazing. It does smell like alcohol. Very strong smell, and it has a very aggressive spray, I guess. I don't know if you can see that, but it just kind of drops, and there actually stuff on the phone. So yeah, so it's very aggressive. So I only use this if I need my makeup to stay for a long time, just because I don't. Oh, I didn't see this. So you can change the spray to just make it better. It's a little better. Still very. You're still gonna have some drops that you're gonna need to blend out. But that, you know, you have that for quite a few drugstore setting sprays. But I love the L'Oreal Lumi Shake and Glow Dew Mist. So you shake it up, and this has a very fine mist. I don't know if you can see that. It's just very fine. So I like this one. It's a very natural glow due to the skin. There we go. This is what it looks like. Alright, now for lips. So lips is where you can kind of shake things up. I love lip products. I have a ton of them. You can try a bunch of different things. For today, I want a more natural look. Yesterday, I kind of wanted something more summery, so I wore the Colourpop Ultra Blotted Lip in Doozy, which I love this formula. It's really good. But that's kind of, it's kind of your preference, and you can really change it up however you want. So we're gonna start with a lip liner. And so for this lipstick, I'm gonna use the NYX lip liner in Nude Pink. And because I already have pretty full lips, I don't like overlining them. But if you have thinner lips, definitely do what kind of makes you feel more comfortable. And because this lip liner is the same, kind of a similar shade to the lipstick, you don't really have to darken the sides or anything to make it blend in more. You can if you want, but you don't have to. And this is the Bite Beauty lipstick in Meringue. And Bite Beauty is probably one of my favorite lipstick brands. I love their lip products. They're amazing. Alright, so now I have that, and I love a gloss. I love gloss, and I'm so happy that I can style it. So I usually do kind of top my lip looks with a gloss. And let's see if I can find it. Here we go. Oh, well, that's not it. Here it is. And I really like the Rimmel Oh My Gloss. In Lucida Labra? That doesn't seem... Oh, Non-Stop Glamour. There we go. And I like gold fleck glosses. For some reason, if any lip product looks a little off, I'll just add a gold gloss on top and it makes it look better. I really like this gloss because it's not sticky, just super glossy, that natural glow look. Alright, so we're all set. So this is my makeup for today. Actually, I really like it. Like I said, you can change things up, find a way that works best for you. Yeah, so everyone have a good day. Bye.